questions that Peter is going to read to me, and I hope you all enjoy yourself very much down in Italy. Here we go.
Dance in the Dark was a great example of the use of DV cam prosumer equipment in making a movie, even cinescope looking. What do you think about the DV cam revolution?
I hope it was more than cinescope looking. It was, we filmed in scope, and what I liked about it was, of course, that you use such a, well, I don't know where to look. I'll look at you. This was poor quality, but in a scope form, and I thought that was kind of funny, but a poor quality. I would say about DV cam that is the most fantastic thing that has happened, and that will, I hope, do a world of difference to film, because all of a sudden you can produce films so costlessly, and everybody can do it, and it would be a tremendous blow, I hope, to Hollywood and film producers all over the world, and might even, you know, put an end to copyright, which I think copyright is, of course, also an evil that we're struggling with. I, as an artist, of course, live from copyright, but I would prefer not to. I would prefer to share everything with everybody, and you know, all. It's of course true that artists need to copy all the time. That is what you do. That is our profession, is to copy. So when films become cheaper, very cheap, you know, as cheap as writing a book, then I think that the big problem with copyright will be smaller then also. Because of course you need a lot of income to finance a big film, but when it's much cheaper, then you don't need so much money, and maybe you can share your creativity with other people in another way. Yeah, that was not the question. Okay, let's take the next one.
Can you tell us how you filmed and edited the musical scenes in Dance in the Dark?
I can tell you how I filmed them very easily. We had 100 DV cams, and we put them all around these locations. And but the idea was to film in a random fashion. That means that the different shots should not be framed. The idea was that it should be kind of random where the actors were in the shots. But this never really worked because 100 cameras was not really enough. Because we, you know, if you want to put them up and chance and take a chance on where, you know, people might, you know, come into frame, then it should be more. So we should have had more cameras. But the idea was to put up a lot of cameras and see what happened, and then put it together afterwards. Because we were trying to avoid the stale, normal way of producing, where you frame every picture. I'm not saying that was entirely successful, but that was our aim. Yeah, about the editing, I don't know. It was, of course, a hell of a job because we had so much material. I don't know how many hours. But I still think it's something that could maybe that you could work on, and you could work with a lot of cameras. I'm sure that this is something that will come. You know, cameras will be cheaper and cheaper, and I'm sure, you know, they will be very small, and you can install them all over a room and do interesting things this way. The good thing about it is, of course, that you don't limit the actors by saying that they have to stand here and do this. If you kind of just cover everything. But I can't say much about how I did it, only that we tried.
What is Zentrova, and more specific, tell us about Filmbyen?
What is Zentrova? Yeah, Zentrova is the company that I founded with Peter Orbeck. And it was meant to only produce the films that I did, but for some reason we produced other films also, which turned out to be a catastrophe. Because if we had only produced my films, then we had actually made some money. And now the money that we make, we put into other, and a lot of people like the two of you here you know, and we pay these salaries, which is ridiculous. I should have kind of been wealthy. I'm not. I wouldn't have been wealthy, but better off than now. Now we have a telephone here. Huh? It's a bank. Okay.
Sorry.
I can't say more about Filmbyen. We had a great vision for Filmbyen. I'm not saying that there's a lot of phone calls, but maybe we should close the door.
Yeah, we can close the door. And is your electric golf cart still your favorite toy?
Does that mean that it has been my favorite toy?
Who knows?
This is a philosophical question. No.
With Centropa, you are at the same time producer and director. Is it a bit schizophrenic, or can you handle it?
Or can you handle it? I don't know. It was when Björk, wanted to leave or said, "I'm going to leave you tomorrow." So and you have just borrowed 20 million kroner, then it's hell to be a producer at the same time. It was really terrible, but on the other hand, there are things that you can do as a producer that, of course, is but in this Björk situation where everything was hell and where it was terrible, then it, of course, would have been much easier for me to have been only a director. But again, also in the same situation, then you would probably have been fired, if you had been only the director. I don't know. The reason why we started Centropa was to have control, to try to keep control of the films, and I think we have succeeded, Ida and I, well in this. And right now I'm able to finance my films and to do crazy things like this next film I'm doing. Very theatrical and non-commercial. So I don't know if I can handle it. Yes, I think I can handle it. I must say, I would like to put it this way, that since I am now in a situation where I can finance strange things and what you would say, narrow things, difficult things, I think I'm obliged to do it. I'm obliged to do these things because I'm able to finance it. There's a lot of people that are not able to finance, even a commercial film, and then there's a lot of people that are not able to finance, form experiments or whatever it might be. And since I'm in a position where I can finance it, then I think I'm obliged to do it. Because what we all should work for is, to take care of this media that is so dear to us. And that you do by working with it and trying different things. So everybody who's in a position where they can investigate or work scientifically or whatever with the media, they should do so. They're obliged to do so. That was a good question.
That was a good reply.
Very
good
reply. Very good answer, yes.
Quality is not at all the magic word in the audiovisual industry. Now being Lars von Trier, with his strong needing to communicate on the meta structures of life, a subject that nobody loves to discuss, must be sometimes hard. Do you feel lonely?
If I feel lonely? I used to feel more lonely. When I was younger, I felt more lonely. Maybe I'm as lonely as when I was younger, but I don't give a shit anymore. Now I feel actually it's quite good to be alone, but that's something else. No, I don't feel lonely at all. No.
Well, don't you think it's a miracle you're even making money out of your movies?
Yes. But this is, we learned film school never to ask questions that could be answered with yes or no.
Woody Allen in Manhattan asks himself 10 good reasons why it's worth living, and then he starts answering. Joe DiMaggio, Louis Armstrong, and so on. Can we know your 10 good reasons why?
Why it's worth living?
Why it's worth living.
I can only say, think of the alternative. That's, you know. No, I don't have.
Please tell us anything you can about Dog. We'll keep the secret.
Well, it's not a big secret, but we're doing a very stylized film, and we're doing a film that takes place in Rocky Mountains, but all filmed in a completely black set, with the things are, you know, only drawn on the floor. So, I wrote this as a normal film, and then I thought that the idea was that if you imagine things, they are sometimes more precise than reality, or stronger, or whatever, you know, about if you make a horror film, then, you know, the monster that you imagine is by far the worst. So after describing this little village for 170 pages, I suddenly found out that it would be interesting if this village never was concrete, if it was kind of only a lot of people are running. If it was only existing in the spectators' minds, and it only consisted of words, actually. So now we're trying to make a film with no sets in it at all, no houses, no walls, just a few chairs. And this is probably not new, but it's new to me. And that concludes the Icelandic jury, the votes from the Icelandic jury, or what?
We have one final question.
One.
What do you think about Italians, and if you can give your regards to the conference?
I would give my regards to any conference, and especially an Italian one. I have been to Italy, I think, for half an hour, which looked very much like France, but that was just kind of over the border, so that's maybe why. I've only met very sympathetic Italians, but still, they were one of the Axis powers. We should never forget that. So I'm happy to have you as a friend and not as an enemy, and that goes for the Germans and the Japanese too. So I'm happy that we are not at war. Thank you very much.